Hi, I'm Jeffrey Craner, and my friend Cecil Baldwin loves horror movies, and he's helping make this genre more approachable for me and hopefully for you too. One film at a time in a random order. Are you squeamish about horror movies? Don't worry. We'll tell you what happens. Adore horror movies? Well, great. Watch along with us each week. As always, check the show notes for content warnings about this week's episode discussion and films. As is our tradition on Halloweens and Fridays the 13th, we'll be covering a few horror shorts this episode. These were randomly drawn from suggestions by our Patreon members. Patreon.com/randomhorror9. For $5 a month, you get monthly live streams where you get to help us pick the film, as well as access to our back catalog of more than 60 live streams. You also get ad-free episodes. You can also just join as a free member of our Patreon, where you get weekly discussion threads of each episode, one annual live stream, and you get to help us pick these horror shorts. Oh, speaking of horror shorts, let's get on to this episode. Here is episode 309.
Number generator. Podcast number 9.
A special Friday the 13th episode of Random Number Generator Horror Podcast number 9 of Horror Shorts, featuring La Cabina, 1972. Warning! Spoilers ahead.
For 50 years, I have been trying to learn how to fight, which is related to when to fight and whom to fight and why. Like, the world is a shit show run by clowns, and it's hard not to wake up every day looking for a punchable face. And there's something to the fantasy of being able to put a knee to J.D. Vance's moose knuckle. But honestly, it's rarely that simple. Most of the time, our battles are small and personal. That's not to say they aren't important, but for many of us, we can only control whatever is put right in front of us. And sometimes those conflicts pay off if approached well. I've never gotten to poke a transphobe in the eyes, Three Stooges style, but I have stood up for trans kids, and I did it to their parents. And in the process, I think I got through to them. I don't know, but it was a battle worth fighting. Sometimes, though, I dive into the fray and all hell breaks loose, because we're not here to solve anything, we're just here to fight. And when you get into it with someone not arguing in good faith, it does not feel good. It's a bit of a deterrent for wanting to engage in future confrontation. But hopefully, we never have to fight alone, that someone will be there to have your back. It's very scary when you're left out on a limb. I remember more than a dozen years ago, a man on the R train started freaking out, screaming at a woman I presumed he didn't know, but he was vile, and he was loud, and he was scary, and everyone near these two on the train blockaded her and forced him off at the next stop. No one grabbed. No one punched, they just formed a wall and pressed him out. Another woman held the first woman's hand. I think they were strangers. In the random draw of these short horror films every Friday the 13th, we always notice little thematic similarities. And this time, the theme of fighting for others, or heroism, was strong. What can we do as a community to help? How can I protect my child, my wife? How do I stand up for marginalized people, whether they're close to me or just strangers on a train? Most importantly, what would Jesus do? Hi, Cecil.
Hi, Jeffrey.
What's your favorite fish?
I don't know. I mean, it's fish. The clownfish. Any of those, any of the, Finding Dory, Great Barrier Reef fish. They're all delightful. But honestly, I think I'm going to go the jellyfish.
Oh, those are wicked. I love them.
Is that a real fish? I don't know. Probably not. It has fish in the name, though.
It's like, I'm never sure if a starfish is a fish.
Yeah.
From these short films, I was reminded of the existence of the swordfish, which is...
Yes.
Like the narwhal, it just doesn't feel real. That's a real
dinosaur
thing.
That is a dinosaur that just got forgotten to get mopped up with the rest of them. I also feel like the swordfish was like a much bigger comedy gag like 50 years ago. And then much like quicksand, we just sort of forgot about it.
It's a cool fucking fish is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And very handy in a battle.
Yeah, going back to the question of like, what weapon do you want in a zombie apocalypse? And swordfish. Just any fish. Fish are great fighting weapons, apparently.
Just go to the Bonefish Grill and pick out a fish.
I was thinking about also, I don't eat fish very often whenever I dine. I'm not averse to seafood. I like seafood, but I just don't think about it much. It's one of those types of fish is a meat that I generally only think of whenever I'm at a place that specializes in it or is local. I tend to never get oysters unless the waiter can tell me where the oyster. If the waiter says these oysters are from blah 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 bay, I'm like, okay, I know they've put some care into them and they weren't just bought at Costco or what have you.
For sure, yes.
Well, we don't get a ton of fish in this movie until we do, or in this collection of shorts,
and then we get a whole host of fishes.
This was 6 movies we watched.
Yep.
Kind of by random draw, 2 American films, 2 Australian films.
I think so, yes.
And 2 Spanish films.
Oh, yeah.
So kind of all over the map. But we're going to start with a recommendation from Patreon user Katie, which was a 1913 short film called Suspense.
Oh, wow.
And this film is in MoMA.
Yes. Yeah, I would not doubt that. It's really interesting watching a true silent film. Like an actual, honest-to-God silent film. And then, of course, watching a film like The Cabin or The Moths Will Eat Them Up, which is not silent, but it has a lot of quietness in it or non-speaking in it. But it's really interesting going back and watching an actual, silent film.
Yeah, our 2 comedies, Ice Cream and Fist of Jesus, they're both very, one is loud, one is pretty quiet, but they're both talky. Yes. They're both, very dialogue-driven amongst the violence and gore-driven. But, these other 4 films, the dramatic ones, have very, very little talking. Yeah. And even the silent film of Suspense has very little text in it at all. It is mostly showing, not telling. Mm-hmm. This was written by Lois Weber and directed by Lois and Philip Smalley, who was her husband. But Lois is one of the most prolific filmmakers in Hollywood history.
Oh, interesting.
She has more than, I want to say it was 145 films, mostly short films that she created. She also did not invent the idea of the split screen that had been around a little bit before she did it in 1913 in this short film, but she does it in such a stylish way that it sort of popularized it, and people started taking the split screen not just as an informational approach to show, say, 2 people in the film, but to actually use that tri-split she uses in unison to show simultaneity. How do you say a word, Cecil?
Simultaneousness.
There you go. Let's go.
Simultaneity. Looking at you, Brian De Palma.
That's it. Well, let's talk about Suspense, Cecil. This is a pretty simple storyline. Yeah. It opens with our maid quitting, leaving a wild-ass note.
This is bonkers. So the mistress of the house is tending her baby. And again, we get through the keyhole. So already you're like, what is going on that this woman has to leave right now? The mistress of the house is literally on the other side of the door. And this woman is peeping through keyholes. She writes her note. She leaves the note on the table. We get to read the note and it says, "No servant can exist in such a lonesome place." And because it's written in cursive or script, I thought it said loathsome place. I was like, oh no, what is going on in this house? What is going on in this house, Leland? But no, it says lonesome. So I think it's more of an idea of this house is, and then when we kind of see an exterior shot, this house is way the fuck out there.
Yeah, it looks rural, coastal California, maybe.
Dirt road, way off the road, in the middle of the palm farms and palm trees and whatnot.
She also mentions, "I'll just leave my key under the mat."
Quit effective immediately.
And she also passes on the dirt road on her way out. She passes the tramp.
You know what we don't get enough of? Murder hobos.
No, we don't.
I mean, we had hobo with a shotgun.
Uh-huh.
And this is on it. It's so funny looking at the hobo idea. Back when that shit was like, no, there are hobos. They're real. They exist. They're transient people that just roam from place to place. And yes, they look like the clown. Hobo clown. The sad hobo clown. But this one's a murder hobo clown.
He is a very murder hobo clown. Yeah, he is the embodiment of, I think, this has always existed in every society in the world, which is we have to think about who the villain is, who's coming to take our women and our children from us. And that's what this guy represents. Like, his motivation is bonkers to me. You just really can't analyze it other than he's just crazy. He just wants to steal and murder and abuse people, I guess. I don't know.
What is his motivation? Listen, I understood his motivation when he went after that corned beef sandwich.
Yeah, the one that was just in the cupboard, with the dishes.
Sure. You're like, somebody pre-made a sandwich and this guy's going to eat it. That I understand.
Totally.
But when he's like picked up a knife and is just stalking through the house just looking to murder.
Well, he even like cuts the phone lines when he gets in the house.
Yeah.
Like, I've had several houses that I've lived in my lifetime that I wouldn't even know where I would have cut the phone line. I mean, I could have cut it at the phone. But like on the outside of the house, like I don't even think I ever paid attention to where that line was even running to go cut it.
Yeah, no, I think this is one of the reasons why horror is such an interesting trope, is because it's a real look at what scares us. Mm-hmm. And as we have learned, what scares us seems like international, but in fact can sometimes be regional and oftentimes is very time specific. Like what the zeitgeist is throwing in their face is a reflection of what mystifies us, what scares us, what are we afraid of? And oftentimes those things stay the same generation after generation. But in this one, it's very apparent. Like the home invasion is palpable.
Well, she calls her husband at work. Like, we'd already seen a shot of her husband calling home to say, "Hey, hon, I've got to work late. Going to be out for a while." But when she hears this man get inside the house, she locks the windows and doors and goes upstairs with the baby.
What's crazy, that shot where she like looks down at him and he looks straight up at her and the camera just like lingers on his face.
It's such a great shot.
Horrifying.
So scary.
Because it's that thing of like, you see me, I see you. Where do you run?
Yeah, and then he makes the choice to come in the house, which is the moment she calls her husband, because it's like, well, I made eye contact with this man I thought was just, theoretically you'd think, well, now he's going to run away because he's been seen.
Yeah.
But he's clearly not.
No.
But we get this triangular tri-screen, and at the center is the husband sitting in his office. On the right is the wife calling him, and then on the left is him finding the key under the mat.
Yeah.
And coming in. And she is saying now he's opening the kitchen door. And then we see
this.
So good.
Like she's narrating what he's doing to the husband in real time. It's also infuriating because I'm like, you hang up the phone and you call the police, lady. I know telephones are invented. I don't know if we have a centralized 911 yet, but yeah.
Well, the solution here for the husband is, I got to get home.
Oh my God, I love this.
And I guess he takes the bus to work because he's got to go outside and steal he carjacks this man.
He carjacks the car. I love it. The guys just like because you know it's also sometimes hard in old fashioned films. You know, everyone kind of looks the same a little bit. So I was like, oh look, there he's like, wait, he's just casually smoking a cigarette and inspecting his car. Oh, that's not him. That's just another identical tall collared man. But yeah, the husband runs out of his office, jumps in this dude's fucking car and tears off. And what's even crazier is that the guy then just like summons a police officer, which means why didn't the husband just be like, "Hey, policeman, my wife is in danger.
Yeah.
Come with me." This
film actually feels very experimental art to me.
Sure.
And it's not experimental art in the way that we think of postmodernism, of like, let's just deconstruct anything we understand about how anything works. It's experimental in that it's playing with a pretty young technology.
Sure.
And what can we do with staging film that isn't just setting a camera on a sound stage and walking around and talking?
Oh my God. The shot of, it's like a shot of the husband's face driving the car. And then there's the large rear view mirror of the police and the guy who's been carjacked in the background.
Uh-huh.
Amazing. Like, because there's no camera tricks. There's barely, like, there is a camera. They set it up on the hood of a car and they did a car chase. When there's a man standing in the middle of the road lighting a cigarette.
I love this.
The husband hits that man with that car.
Yeah.
And then gets out and dusts him off and goes, oh, good, you're okay. And sends him on his way and then continues with the car chase.
I love this guy. Like, the motivation of any of these little side characters is so funny because I have questions about the tramp and what his motive is.
Yes.
The cigarette man in the middle of the road, I'm like, what is your fucking deal?
I mean, he lives in rural California in 1913.
That's true.
Like, the worst he probably, the worst he has to think about is like a stray cow.
Right. Theoretically, there's still a lot of horses happening on this road, so you could maybe hear them better than you could a car. But yeah, he just decides, right here in the median, I'm just gonna
light my pipe
up.
Or my cigarette.
This crazy chase is happening. We've got the tramp. Yeah, basically, he gets his corned beef sandwich, goes upstairs. He is busting through her door like Jack Torrance.
Yeah. Because it's one of those things where, there's not much more that this woman can do. She locks the door of the bedroom. She puts a bureau in front of it. The tramp punches through that door. Mm-hmm. Like, it's really scary and shocking. It is like, so yeah, we've had Brian De Palma. We've had some Stanley Kubrick now.
Mm-hmm. And now he's coming for her. But this is when our husband gets home. He ditches that car, flies out of it, runs up the dusty old lawn to the house. All the while, the police are out of their car shooting at him.
Actively shooting at him.
Thank God they're stormtroopers.
Yeah. So they can't hit anything.
Mm-mm.
He makes it inside, and that's when the tramp hears the shooting, hears the cars. He leaves the wife alone, goes downstairs, and is in sort of a scuffle with the husband. But the husband kind of rushes past him. He gets into, like, essentially the police officer is, like, taking care of him. The husband runs into his wife's arms.
Picks up the baby.
The baby's okay. The wife is okay. And then this resolution is, like, it is 1, 2, 3, done.
Yep. Oh, just dust those hands off. All good.
Because the policeman and the motorist and the car owner come in, and the husband goes, my wife. And they go, oh. Of course. No, we won't be pressing charges today.
What a good man.
Yeah.
This is such a beautifully done film. It's such an exciting film. And to call it Suspense and to think about it from the point of view of an experimental piece is that you're playing with a new technology to be like, how do we build suspense? We didn't talk about the choice of music put into it either, which is it's very classic silent film.
Yeah.
Piano keys tinkling in suspense. But all of this stuff feels like such a cool effort to create new visuals, new ways to create action thrillers, basically.
Yeah.
Thank you, Katie, for that. So the end, let's jump forward by 110 years.
Sure.
To a YouTube short suggested by Weaponized Toaster called I Scream by creator Talitha and starring Talitha, Anastasia, and John. No last names are listed for these folks, but great job by these people. What a 4-minute little short about an ice cream parlor, Cecil.
Yeah. It's like Waiting for Godot's ice cream parlor.
I like the stylized dialogue here because it opens with these two setting up their ice cream parlor to open for a day of business, and one of the women opens the opens the freezer, lifts the top up, looks in, closes it, looks in, closes it, turns to the other. They have to go to the broom closet to have the conversation. But there's a dead man in the freezer. How dead is he? Goes back out, checks his pulse.
Quite dead. But we open in 5 minutes.
Can we scoop around him?
Can we scoop around him? Let's find out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we can scoop. Oh, nope, you broke off his thumb. Put it back on.
Yeah, put it back on. No, that's a health code violation. Did you say health code violation?
Oh my God, I love it. This character, this is so silly. The health inspector who's just like looking at spoons.
Yes.
Just twirling a sink or twirling a faucet.
He's like cracking open the tops of bottled cleaners and just smelling them and nodding his head like, yep, that's definitely cleaner.
That smells about right.
And all the while, they are just scooping ice cream for a crowded little ice cream parlor. What's really fun about this short is that the trick in it is really that they don't show you.
Yeah.
You never see the body. You never see the skeleton.
Nope.
You never see body parts. All you see is what looks like just like red jelly topping or dark
it's like strawberry
milk
sauce.
Chocolate fudge. Yeah. Going onto ice cream. And then you hear the sounds of the as they're scooping it out. So they're doing the Cameron Esposito horror is in the soundtrack.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're just seeing a bunch of shots of ice cream that looks so gross because it's all kind of a little melty.
Pretty melted.
And
it's all on a black background. It's all very like commercial-y shot. It looks like a commercial. But it just keeps going. And it's all this like super close-up. Anything like a close-up on food is always going to be kind of gross.
Yeah.
Like if you stop to think about it too hard, you're like, what am I actually putting into my body? And this is that case.
It's really hard to shoot food if you've ever tried to take a picture of your meal or something you cooked or something. It just gets so washed out. And here they are like shooting food really nicely, but because of the sound and because we know what it is and because all of the food is a little lopsided.
Yeah.
It's so gross. And then we get to the point where we've got a problem. One, we're almost out of the mammal flavor.
The mammal flavor.
And also, oh shit, there's a whole skeleton in the freezer.
So they've scooped this entire gentleman, this entire body. They're like, wait a minute. Let's line up the milkshakes.
Yeah, somebody says, can I order a shake? And she just grins like, oh.
And then it's just the shots of blenders.
And the sound of a little vague sound of crunching in the blender. I love the line where one of them says, wait, you can do that? And she says, yeah, it's like adding calcium to a drink like they do at Jamba Juice.
Oh my God, like they do. I cackled so hard at that line.
It's so funny. Our resolution is the inspector. It's the end of the workday. And he says, I'm giving you the grade of B. Whipped cream must remain refrigerated when not in use. Otherwise, your customers might get an upset stomach.
They might get a tummy ache. Yep. And I love it as like clearly, like Ready Whip, like the most non-dairy whipped cream. And they're looking at it, they're like, okay, I guess we'll take that, considering there's a dead body that we've been serving to people all day.
Yeah, so at the end, that was Ice Cream by Talitha. Talitha TV, I think, is the name of the YouTube channel. Yeah, it was a great recommendation. This is they don't have like the same following as like our next picture, which is done through Alter, right? Like these bigger channels. But Talitha stuff, I watched a couple other videos. They're really funny. A lot of similar type of humor.
It's just so funny, like the deadpan. Like, compare the humor of Ice Cream and Fist of Jesus. Like, it's like minimalist versus maximalist.
Yes, totally. All right, let's talk about The Moths Will Eat Them Up from 2025. This was recommended by Patreon user Alyssa. And this is a film by Luisa Martiri and Tanya Modini.
I love anything that starts with the Bible quote.
Isaiah 51, 7 and 8. Oh, God. Do not fear the scorn of men. Do not be broken by their insults, for the moth will eat them like a garment. Yes,
What?
the moth will eat them like wool.
Huh?
I didn't really want to dig out a Bible to check this or go online. I didn't verify this, but I'm like,
What are you talking about, Bible?
I just like the rhythm of this. I like what it's
Yes.
saying. It's pretty great. I believe it. The Bible has said crazier shit, so...
Mm-hmm. Man-eating moths. Sure.
This one's pretty simple, and the scare in this one is what I would call just real scare.
Yeah. It's very tense. Like, talk about suspense, the name of the first film. This is super suspenseful because it's all intimidation. It's anticipation. It's the feeling of being trapped.
The feeling that what you are experiencing, you're because of the world around you not reacting to it.
Yeah.
You're sort of gaslit by society by them not reacting to what you're seeing.
So it starts with our protagonist, and she's waiting on a train platform kind of at night. There's some moths buzzing around a lamp, and she's got a bottle of wine and, kind of very like commuter going home from work. And she passes by 2 or 3 men on their phones. They're all everybody's in their phone. They're all men. They're all in suits, and she kind of like eyes them, but she's okay, nobody's really paying attention. She gets onto this train. Train gets going.
Uh-huh.
It's like empty. There's like only like 2 or 3 people in the car. 2 of those people get off at one stop. But this guy comes in from the back and sort of bumps her seat.
Quite deliberately and hard.
Yeah, and she looks up at him, and he looks down at her and just stares at her. And she's sort of taken aback. And then he goes through this is fucking terrifying. The idea of like going through the train door, it closes, and he just stands there and like nose pressed against the glass, stares at her. It's
just so scary, and I love the rhythm that they create for him. So he will in the space between cars.
Mm-hmm.
There's a toilet there.
Yeah.
And so when the train is in motion, he goes into the toilet, and we only see that by the light-up sign that says toilet occupied. And then at every stop, as people get off the train, that light goes off, and he stands in the window of the car staring at her.
Like blocking her path to get off the train.
She keeps seeing people get off of this car, and she keeps seeing this man staring at her. Well, we kind of get down to just like one dude left on the train, some businessman with his AirPods in. And she goes and says, "Hey, that dude keeps staring at me. Have you noticed this guy who keeps going in and out of the bathroom?" And he's like, he probably just not feeling well.
She's like, "No, he's staring at me, and it's really freaking me out." He's like, "Staring at you? How? Like, how was he staring at you?" She's like, "Staring at me and freaky enough that I'm talking to a random fucking stranger."
You need to calm down.
Yeah. Ugh. Oh my God.
That guy gets off at the next stop. So it's just her left on this car.
Yeah.
There's a moment where she tries to like sneak past the toilet, but the door like unlocks because they're coming into a station. She has to run back to her seat.
She tries waving for help to the video camera. And when we get, it's kind of the only like outside the bottle of the movie kind of shot that we get, which is just almost like an unmanned CCTV. And it's, the same shot of her like waving her hands, saying help in, big yelling help. But it just sort of cycles through the CCTV of empty cars. So it's either it's unmanned or the person behind the desk does not care.
Yeah, I love that shot when we see the little bank of CCTV cameras because the camera is bolted to the car in the same position on every car. So we see a shot of just like straight down the aisle of this train car, and she's waving quietly in black and white, and then suddenly she just disappears because the camera switches, but the other car layout is the exact same. So it just looks like she just vanishes from sight.
Yeah.
Now we're getting to our destination, and he is blockading her way out. and she's gonna try and just confront him. She takes the bottle of wine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? You might as well just go ahead and crack that open.
Yeah, I know,
make
right?
a true shiv out of it instead of a blunt object. And she says, whatever you're fucking doing, you fucking stop. Stop it. And he just grins at her. But then we notice there's a lot of moths. We've just been seeing little moths here and there.
Yes.
Throughout.
Yeah, it's kind of like a moth is sort of like not attached itself, but like from the minute she's on the platform, she brings a moth into the train car. It's sort of sitting on the window at a certain point. It kind of disappears for a bit. When she tries to go into the in-between carriages, she sort of waves it away a little bit. But now she's got like 5 or 6 moths around her head when she confronts this menacing stranger. And
suddenly we see a bunch of moths coming up from behind her, and then there's like a camera shot from like just outside the train, and what we see inside the train is just it's packed full of women of different ages and backgrounds and everything, just marching forward.
And then the face of the menacing stranger falls. Like, oh shit.
And then, he gets swarmed by fucking moths, and
like
she gets off the train.
Hundreds of CGI moths.
Yep. And she goes out, gets inside her car, locks the door, just has several moments of just breathing out what she's been through.
This was some of the scariest. Like, this was the like, even though I know the danger has passed and I understand like kind of what's going on, because I'm like, Jesus Christ, if they fucking jump scare us, like there's a fucking person in her car, I'm gonna be so mad. But it's not.
No.
She kind of makes it to the safety of her car and like takes a moment.
And our epilogue is there's another little train, like kind of late at night, MD train stop. A young woman gets, steps to the edge to wait for her train, and we just see the moths, circling the street light over, and one just comes and lands right on her shoulder.
I love this. Like it really kind of, and especially tying in the biblical quote at the beginning, it really does kind of harken to the idea of like a traveler, like a patron saint of travelers,
yes.
Especially of women travelers, or something that. Every time you leave your front door, you're putting yourself out in the world and you're exposed. But the idea that there is some kind of benevolent force that looks after solo women that need it the most.
I love that phrase of like the patron saint for women travelers is such a good way of thinking about that, because it is this notion of a protector, a protecting angel to keep you safe, that is made up of every woman who has ever witnessed a scene like this or been victim to it. And also just the camera work, the shots in this movie, and this final shot of just the back of this woman, of her sweater, her backpack, her hair hanging down, and then just this like really beautiful black and white moth wings spread, popping onto her shoulder. The end. So tonally, let's stick with this kind of similar sort of movie.
No, stop. Yeah, like we literally went from the most serious film ever created to the least serious film ever created.
Okay, I almost didn't include this film because we try and do 5 per one of these episodes.
Sure.
And I couldn't leave it out because it was just so ridiculous and unlike anything else. And we're just going to include it. And this was recommended by Witch Mommy on Patreon. This is Fist of Jesus 2012, a short film by David Munoz and Adrian Cardona.
It's like if Sam Raimi directed a Looney Tunes episode.
Yeah.
Looney Tunes cartoon.
Very Sam Raimi Looney Tunes-y.
Like it reminded me a lot of the battle sequences of Army of Darkness. That's sort of like when horror and slapstick comedy meet. And it's oftentimes a pretty great tasting combo.
It's so good. Well, this is going to be the story of Jesus.
Jesus on the Mount. Preaching to the people.
Love your enemies. Bless those who curse you.
Yep.
The
Turn
meek
the other
shall
cheek.
inherit the earth. Blah, blah, blah.
All that.
And then, man, Jacob arrives and he's like, Jesus, my son Lazarus, he is dead. Jesus says, oh, but he is only asleep. No, he's been dead for a day. He's like, oh, ye of little beer. Faith. Oh, Judas, my friend, come, let us show this man. Through my life, so can you live, blah, yada, 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 yada. So we arrive at the little village where dead Lazarus.
Women wailing, Roman soldiers standing around just looking like kind of nonplussed.
Lazarus, rise up and walk. And Cecil, he does. He sits up. Praise
Everyone's
Jesus.
Like, huzzah! Praise Jesus. And then Lazarus takes a big chunk out of Jacob's neck.
And then we just hear, because the
God,
last shot...
This is so dumb.
The last shot we saw before this was the wailing women in all black, the mourning women. And then we hear this high-pitched scream. And then it cuts to, it's just Jesus and everything else has fallen silent.
It's like when Ned Flanders, like there's that one episode of The Simpsons where Ned Flanders like screams like, they're like, I heard a woman. No, it's just Ned.
So stupid. And now Jacob's a full-on zombie. The zombie infection happens quickly.
Very quick. Zombie melee. The Roman soldiers go in.
I love these
get
soldiers.
zombified.
They kind of look at each other like, oh, these fucking people again? All right, let's go deal with it.
And pretty soon, everyone is zombified. They're like, and Judas is like, oh my, like, I can't believe this. And Jesus is like, no, stick with me. We'll be all right.
He also tells Judas, Judas is like, you tried to bring them back from the dead, but it's actually turned, it's damned them. And he's like, listen, it was my first time. I'll get it right next time. Like, what do you expect?
Never done this before.
I hadn't done that before.
Ridiculous.
And then they're like, oh no, we are surrounded. Over there, the Pharisee zombies. Over here, the Roman zombies. And over here, cowboy zombies.
The cowboy zombies? Come out here, Jesus. but in Spanish.
God, it's so fucking dumb. Like when they're running away, there's a moment they're running through a village and Jesus just shoves this young woman out of the way into a zombie.
Like this, like an old woman just like sweeping the streets.
Yep.
Shoves her right into the zombies.
They pause for a moment in safety and Jesus is telling Judas, hey, just stick with me. We're going to be fine. And when he turns around, Judas is gone, and Judas has hung himself from the whatever tree.
Oh, no. And Jesus is like, oh, Judas, my friend. And he puts his hands on his feet, and he's like, rise, Judas.
Judas does come back to life.
Judas does, but Jesus hasn't cut him down. And Jesus is just having like his hero moment, looking out, surveying the world, and doesn't notice that Judas is now revived, but choking to death again.
And so now he cuts Judas down and brings him back to life from the prone position. I thought that was so funny.
It's so dumb.
All right. Zombie melee. The zombies are surrounded. They say, Jesus, your glory days are over, says the lead cowboy zombie.
Yeah.
Judas, do you have anything I could use as a weapon? I only have one fish.
One fish. But then, oh my God, this shot of like, Kung Fu Master Jesus, where he has like one fish and then turns it in like
he fans it into two. Nah.
Like throwing stars.
The zombie's like, oh, all you have is a fish? No. Two fish.
Oh my God. And then it is literally just zombies exploding.
For like 15 minutes. It's not that long.
No, like a full 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Fish in the head. Arms being ripped off.
Yeah, just there's a point where like Jesus is under a pile of limbs and offal and blood.
Yeah.
It's just so gross.
Zombies keep coming, and then the fish get bigger and bigger.
Eventually, he's got a swordfish. He's got one where it's a piranha. He's like, oh, you like biting people? Say hello to my little friend. Or whatever. I like that he's just throwing like carp, and they're fully just going through people's chests.
And then, like, eventually there's a scene, I think it's like when everything is kind of over and done, and it's just the carnage. Mm-hmm. And it's just bodies lying on the ground with fish sticking straight up out of them.
There's one point where he does in the cartoon way, you know how they would like, when you would see a cat eat a fish, like Tom, he'd rip the fish flesh off and it would be left with just the bones. He does that with a fish, like slides the skin off and is left with like a spiked club.
Yes.
Of those bones. It's so good. It's so stupid. There's a moment wherein in the melee, there's like a kind of zombie looking person, but as the camera gets up close to him, you realize he's saying, "I'm just a poor leper seeking the healing powers of Jesus." And then he gets fucking head blowed up by Jesus.
Oh my God. Like at one point, Jesus is just like beating some zombie that's just below the camera. And there's just like a head flies up, an arm flies up. For every time Judas or Jesus hits a zombie, there's like a little squirt of blood that kind of happens below the camera. It's great.
And his final moment, there's 2 zombies left, and there is a crucifix. There's a giant cross.
I know. I was like, not the crucifix. No.
And he lifts it out of the ground and pummels these last 2 zombies with the cross. And Judas says, in the end, we didn't even get to evangelize to anyone. And Jesus says, well, we did send a bunch of people to the kingdom of heaven.
Yes, we did.
The end. What a waste of time. That was so much fun. I loved it.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Yes, online shopping is quite literally at our fingertips, but that doesn't mean it's always simple to buy. Whether it's trying to remember one of a million different logins so you can actually place your order, or getting almost all the way through checkout before realizing your card is nowhere near you, there are many hiccups that can get between you and placing that order. Which is why it's such a relief when you see that purple pay button that has all of your information saved, making checkout as simple as a tap of your screen. That iconic purple Shop Pay button is why Shopify has the best converting checkout on the planet, meaning less carts going abandoned and more sales going to you. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Thrive Cosmetics, Gymshark, and Allbirds, to brands just getting started. And they're not just great at converting sales. If people haven't heard about your brand yet, Shopify can help you find your customers with easy-to-run email and social media campaigns. And they have world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. Tackle all of those important tasks from one place, making your life easier and your business operations smoother. See less carts go abandoned and more sales go with Shopify and their Shop Pay button. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/realm. Go to shopify.com/realm. That's shopify.com/realm.
Hey, do you want more Random Number Generator Horror Podcast number 9? Well, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/randomhorror9. You can join for free and take part in discussion threads for each and every movie. And for $5 a month, you can join us on monthly live stream episodes where you get to help us pick the film. And not to mention, you get ad-free regular episodes too. So consider becoming part of the Random Horror 9 community. There are so many great discussions both in the live streams and on the discussion threads. So check it out at patreon.com/randomhorror9. Do it for $0 or do it for $5 if you like. Whatever floats your boat. Boo. So now we're going to get to, I thought this was really interesting. This is a short film that turned into a feature film that I have not seen yet.
Oh.
But this is Cargo from 2013.
Okay.
This was recommended by user Amanda. This is created and directed by Ben Howling and Yolanda Ramke. And this won Trope Fest, which is apparently the world's largest short film festival.
Ooh, that's
so this is the
cool.
2013 winner, and it got turned into a major motion picture starring Martin Friedman, I think.
Also called Cargo, right?
Also called Cargo, Australian zombie flick. It's come up in our What Do We Want to Watch Next before, but we haven't gotten to it quite yet.
I love a good in media res beginning.
I do too.
Like where you're just dropped into a situation and it's like, there's a zombie in a car.
In fact, because it's in media res, it takes you a second to... First thing I understood was this man is coming out of unconsciousness.
Yes.
Oh, he's in a car. He must have been in a bad accident.
Yes.
Which, probably true.
Yes. But also...
And his wife is needing help. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, that's no longer his wife.
She is a milky-eyed zombie. We also get a good shot of his arm has like a zombie bite on it.
Uh-huh.
He does kind of kick her away because she's seatbelted in.
Uh-huh.
He gets out of the car. And then he like frantically goes to the back of the car.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next shot we have, him standing and he's got like a little baby, a non-zombie baby.
On the back of their car, they've got the little family stickers of mommy, daddy, and baby.
God.
And I think I've referenced this before. I think it was a Reno 911 bit where a police officer, like, there's a massive crash scene and then he just starts peeling a couple of the stickers off.
Oh, my God. Love it.
But yeah, he literally peels the mommy sticker off and holds it up to the baby. And he was like, Mommy.
It's just you and me, kid.
Okay, so now he's without words because he has no one to talk to, really.
Yeah.
They're just baby. But he checks the wound on his arm, so we've got a clock on it now.
It's not good.
He's got out a map that has clearly been written on before that they had been searching for safe places to go.
Yeah, it just says safe ? And then all of them have been X'd out.
So he realizes he's got a 3-hour trek through the woods to get to the last remaining safe place. We also note that he has a Sharpie and he's writing on his arm some details, which would become important later. But there's a moment on this trek. He's got the baby on his little backpack baby carrier. There's a moment where he is crouching over human innards on the trail, and he is sniffing them.
And but he put this he puts them into a little grocery bag.
Yeah, he's got like a little plastic bag, like a dog do bag,
and like ties it to his belt loop.
Yep.
And you're just like, what the fuck are you doing with that? And listen, we just watched Walking Dead. We're like, oh, you're going to cover yourself in zombie smell.
Uh-huh.
That old gambit.
He also finds an abandoned house that, a birthday party had come to a sudden end at this house. But there's like a little, I've never seen one of these before. It's like a little handheld balloon inflator.
Oh, yeah.
Like an electric one, right? Like it just puffs up a little balloon.
Because this baby is not happy.
No.
But he's like, hey, look a hat, look a balloon.
Yeah, he fills up a little balloon and he ties it to the baby backpack. Next time we see him marching, he's got a full-ass stick that he has rigged up to the backpack that goes straight out in front of him, and hanging from that is the bag of innards.
And it's like we see that, and then we kind of see him from the back, and he's become zombified, but he's essentially made a carrot at the end of a stick.
Yeah,
because he knows once he turns, and he will walk toward the innards because he's a dumb zombie. But he kind of like sniff, like I smell something. And kind of just does like a 360 trying to find the baby that is strapped to his back but doesn't see it.
Yeah, he keeps marching forward and he finds his way into this clearing. And we see a distant shot of what he looks like, which is just a full-on like zombie with a stick and a bag and a pink balloon and a backpack.
Yep.
And then just we hear a kapow.
Yeah. And there's a person like on top of a shed way in the distance.
And they have sniped him. And these 3 people come down to investigate, these 3 humans, non-turned humans. And it's, I think, important to note that it was cast as 2 men and a woman.
Yeah.
And they come back down just to make sure he is dead.
Yeah. And the men are like, cool.
Got him. Let's go back inside.
Yeah.
But she stops. She hangs out because she's like, Why is this stick here?
Yeah.
And the balloon? And he's got writing on his arm. And then suddenly we hear crying.
She picks up that baby.
And underneath the little blanket over the backpack, she finds the baby and she lifts up the shirt and it says, "My name is Rosie."
Taking that baby home.
Written in Sharpie on the belly. It's very sweet. It's very a very tearjerkery, tearjerker zombie film.
Well, it's, like we've talked about in zombie movies, like one of my favorite thing is the useful death. And this is kind of the ultimate version of that in that it's like, you're going to turn. What do you do with the last 2 hours of your life? How do you help your fellow man? In this case, how do you be the father that gets your innocent, helpless little baby to safety?
And it's such a long shot, and it's so beautiful that it pays off for him, and that baby is saved. Because we know, and he knows too, he knows that, like, there's a good chance I end up killing my baby or dying, and my baby is killed by somebody else.
You just sort of wander forever.
And the last shot is her sitting with the baby in the field, and in the background, the two men are digging a grave for him.
Which you get that, like, they probably don't do for every zombie they kill.
No.
So it is that kind of, like, in a respect in death.
I thought that was really a beautiful, beautiful touch.
Yeah.
I'm now curious to see the live action version, the feature version of it. But it is kind of like we covered Mama for the show, which I think the feature length of Mama has a lot of great things happening to it, but it is a little tough to maintain the core of this tiny story.
To expand.
Yeah.
If I remember, I think I did see it when it came out, and it's been a long time. It's been quite a long time. And I remember it's much more survival.
Uh-huh.
But I don't remember how it ends. So I don't know if we watch it for the show. It'll be like watching it afresh.
That's right. Well, let's get to our last horror short. And we've kind of bookended this episode, this Friday the 13th episode, with, I think, two classics of their era, with Suspense. And then now this is a made-for-TV short film called La Cabina from 1972. It was made in Spain. This was recommended by Patreon user Didi Dunn. Thank you, Didi. It was directed by Antonio Mercero. This is a very 1970s film.
It is.
I love it. I love the jaunty music, the overhead shot
it's
of
like jazz
city
music.
streets. Yeah.
It says in the captions.
We see this delivery truck, arriving into a park area, and just on the back of the truck is a red phone booth, and four men get out. We never really see their faces. We just kind of see them setting up the phone booth, and they're going to come back into the picture later. But all I could think about was, I got real Night Vale head about it. I was like, oh, the man who is not tall, the man who is not short.
It is shadowy government agency.
Uh-huh.
Because it's all shot from you see like this wide shot of the park. And we see them, they kind of like put poles underneath it, and they kind of carry it to the middle of this park, which is like a sandy play area. And you see them like bolting it into the ground. They put a phone inside of it, and then they leave. And I was like, what the fuck did they hook that phone up to?
Uh-huh.
Nothing at all, Jeffrey.
Once they leave, and then it just shows this phone booth in the middle of this public park, it's so interesting because the park is just kind of an open play area for there's some bushes and flowers, but mostly it's just like an open space between apartment buildings in this downtown area.
It's very European. It's
very
European.
Gathering spot.
We need a place to play bocce ball or whatever.
But this red color is so bright. It is such like a eyesore in the middle of this kind of otherwise kind of like toned down area.
It's in the middle of the park. And they're clearly doing this before the city is woken up. And then now we kind of get morning happens. So like the little boys are running to catch the bus to school. Mm-hmm. People are slowly starting to do their morning errands.
One other thing about this phone booth when it's first set up is the way the door is left ajar. Mm-hmm. It looks like a trap. Like it just looks like a trap. Yep. It's so bright and red and shiny. Look at this brand new phone.
Isn't technology great?
So now we meet our businessman, our man, and his little son.
I think I don't know if it was like a film critic or if it was the director kind of referred to him as a gray man. You're everyman. You're average businessman, balding, suit, mustache, the kind of middle management of the world.
Yeah, he's a classic everyman. Gray man is a great word. I love that. There's something heroic about everyman. Like it sounds like the protagonist of a film, like the way any man could just elevate to protagonist status. But Gray Man is really great because it really implies NPC.
Yeah, that's it.
So this man he's taking his son across the park to the school bus where the nuns are going to take him off to school. But I love this shot of this boy has a brand new blue ball and he kicks it in the park and it lands in the phone booth.
I love that the kid is like the only person who acknowledges the newness of the phone booth. He's like, look, this is a new one. This is fancy. And he's like, hey, don't tarry. No. We got things to do. Don't pay attention. Off to school you go.
So he gets him off to school and he goes back to that phone booth. And it's interesting when he's walking away that first time from the phone booth to the bus, he can't take his eyes off the phone booth, which makes me think of like a Venus flytrap, right? Like any type of like, or what are the fucking fish that have the little dangly light bulb?
Anglerfish? Is that what they're called?
That predatory nature sometimes makes itself look really beautiful to trap in the prey. And he can't stop looking at this beautiful brand new red phone booth. And so he's got to go make a phone call, Cecil. And the door just
silently closes behind him. And the phone isn't even connected. He's kind of, doing the thing, the like tap, tap, tap on the receiver.
Click, click, click. Yep.
No. Okay. But you put some coins in. No, they just go right through. Wait a minute. I think the door is locked behind me.
Yeah.
Huh. That's strange.
Can't get this open.
I mean, the performance by this actor is pretty stunning because it's silent. Once he gets inside that phone booth, we hear nothing.
We never hear him again, I don't think.
Nothing. No thing. Like not breathing, not words, not sounds. He is in a hermetically sealed trap. Mm-hmm. And this character really, like, it's alternately, it starts off funny.
Yeah, like
because he's a respectable businessman. This is not something that happens to respectable people.
And also we start getting a crowd gathering. It begins with just him waving down to random guys who are on their way to work, and they're like, "Wow, you just push harder, be a man about it." And they're like, "Here, we'll help you push, we'll pull," and they cannot get the thing open. They're like, "Sorry, dude, we got to get to work." And there are kids out there playing. They're like laughing at him.
But then now there's like 1 by 2 by 3 by 10 by 20 people are forming a little circle around him. And I want to talk about the crowd.
Yes, please.
Like this is the best sort of how to give individuals a feeling of difference in a crowd. Like there's I love the 2 old women knitting. Which actually, if you kind of look at their knitting, one is like it kind of makes a tricolor, like red, blue, and white.
Oh, okay.
Kind of similar to, the women knitting by the guillotines in the French Revolution.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
There's a mover is carrying this like very ornate chair that he even puts his chair in. I was like, what's going on here? Another mover is carrying a very ornate mirror. So we kind of like the mirror. Man in the phone booth sees a reflection of himself trapped in the phone booth and how ridiculous he looks. There's a young boy carrying pastries to a bakery. And all the while, there's a very tall, thin man a la Phantasm just slowly stealing pastry. Like it's in the crowd, people are not just NPCs. They are individuals. They are people who are living a life that have kind of stopped what they're doing to observe this silly, what they think is a stunt. I think somebody at one point, they're like, ugh, advertising these days. People will do anything to get attention.
This is one of the best, might be the best crowd scene I've ever seen. I mean, the director here, Antonio Mercero, does such an incredible job of giving personalities in short bursts to all of these people involved. And it's funny
Yeah.
It's engaging. You know, it also is informative because you hear one person say, "Oh, I see him. He takes his boy to the bus every morning over here." And so it gives us a little bit of perspective about the community, but also it's like almost Lynchian absurd when you talk about like the phantasm tall man like eating these pastries from the top of this kid's tray on his head.
At one point there's like a shoe shine.
Yeah.
Guy shows up, starts selling lottery tickets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then 3 people respond to the phone booth. First, there is the big man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, all you need is muscle. Mm-hmm. Look, the biggest guy in the world who wins every arm wrestling competition, the tug of war, like, you know, what we need is some brawn.
Yeah.
And this guy literally pulls the handle off the phone booth.
Yeah.
Doesn't budge. And he's kind of laughed down.
Yeah, they're like whistling at him because he can't bust open this phone booth.
Big strong man can't even get this door open. The second one is the mechanic. What we don't need brawn, we need skill. Who's like, I've got some tools in my bag. Here, I've got a Phillips head screwdriver. That's weird. There's no screws or sockets, or what if I just try to like pry it up? Nope, that doesn't work either.
What if I reattach the door handle and pull again? Nope, that's not working. No, maybe that doesn't. Yeah.
He's literally trying to like. Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again?
Yeah.
No,
you can see the frustration mounting on Gray Man, you know, on his face.
And it's frustration. It's also like he has a look of like, I know how ridiculous I look.
Yeah.
You know, he's kind of like, you know, like that sort of embarrassed, like, I know ha ha ha. I get it. I'm stuck in a weird situation.
Yeah.
And then the third one are the police, the powers that be. And listen, if you've listened to this podcast, you know, just because the cops come doesn't mean the movie's over.
Nope. These cops crack me up. They show up. They're like, get out of here. Hey, you get out of that phone booth or we'll force you out. And you can kind of see his gesture like, do it.
Go ahead.
Well, I would love to go to jail at this point.
Yes, exactly.
And they can't do anything about it. And then we hear the sirens for the fire department.
And the fire department comes in and they're like, you know, same thing. They're like, what's going on here?
Uh-huh.
Bring me, I love it that one is like, bring me the tool. And the guy brings a hose. And he's like, no, you idiot, not that.
That's
the ladder.
But the fireman is interesting because they just take their ladder to climb up on top of it. Yeah. And that fireman on top, he's got a full-on like sledgehammer. And he is getting ready to be like, all right, steer clear. I'm coming down with this hammer.
Yeah, get down. And you can see the kind of look of terror, not terror, but like he's like, oh, shit, glass is going to start flying.
But then we hear honking.
Like very insistent honking.
Mm-hmm.
And here comes that little green lorry.
And everyone cheers because it's like, oh, the phone company.
Of course.
They'll solve this.
And there's like no words, only like the little rotary phone symbol on their thing.
Uh-huh.
And again, without words, these men back the truck in. They pull out the little poles. They put the poles in the phone booth. They unscrew it from the ground. And they lift up the entire thing with the guy inside. Load him onto the truck. Drive off.
And everyone is just cheering like, yep, problem solved.
Yay!
Yay!
Done.
He's
done and done.
The sense I got from this crowd that has gathered was that it's really about the show. And this was made long before reality television, but it made me think of reality television or kind of...
Or Candid Camera. I think Candid Camera was a thing then.
Candid Camera would have been... Yeah, there was variations of reality TV, I suppose,
like,
happening.
What would make you stop your daily routine to go from bystander to engaged, but not get involved?
And I also thought about this day and age of social media where almost every day somebody becomes the main character of social media. Yes. And it's like usually not a good thing.
People people fighting on airplane videos. And you're like, look at the 20 people sitting around them that are not filming, that are literally just trying to get from point A to point B.
And being able to relate to another human being on a human level, and he's been put quite literally on a stage. There's a moment where I think one of the teenagers is like shouting, they're like, strip. Oh
my God. Oh, I missed that.
And it's he's in a box. He's a man on TV, on candid camera, or whatever our equivalent would have been back in 1972. The humanity is gone from it.
There's one shot before we leave this location, and it's kind of a low shot of him in the phone booth, and he's got like his hands up, and in the background is a skyscraper, like a very modern office building. So it's like probably where this man might work, in a box, within a box, within a box.
I love these shots, actually. I really love the camera work following this truck through Madrid. And we get to see all of the crazy highway lanes, the layout of the movement of traffic.
Yeah.
It does look like arteries or an ant farm.
Yeah. The interesting tidbit of information. So the Spanish government said, hey, you want to make this movie? The Board of Tourism highly suggests that you include shots of all the new things we've made in Spain over the, look at all the new progress we've made. Don't you want to put that in your film if you ever want to see the light of day? And he did.
Yeah.
Like, it's shots of, it's very much like interstates, new modern technology, but also kind of, it looks, again, boxes upon boxes upon boxes.
Yeah.
And then eventually those boxes, he's on the back of this truck, and he is like pounding on this phone booth, and everyone's waving and smiling at him.
Yeah.
Like he's the fucking king of the parade.
Yeah. He's the celebrity. He is the main character of Twitter, right? He's just like, oh my God, it's that guy.
Yeah.
And there's this moment wherein he pulls up, they come to a stop, and another truck with another phone booth on the back of it pulls up next to him.
With an almost identical businessman. Same kind of tie, same kind of suit, same kind of balding. And they have this moment of, can you help me? I can't help you. You can't help me.
What is happening?
And the other guy looks a little more depressed, like a little more resigned to his fate.
Yeah.
But it drives off. This is when I was like, oh, this fucking movie.
Uh-oh.
What is happening? Because it's one thing to have, like, is this an isolated thing? It's another when it starts to become a conspiracy of, like...
Yeah.
And this is where reading a little bit about the history of this film was really interesting, because this movie gives you no answers. Mm-mm. This movie is very existential. It's like, it is only happening. Things are happening. You are seeing what's happening. That's it. But a lot of people got a little, like, the reactions of what is going on in this film after sort of this kind of winding up the Franco dictatorship, in which people were just sort of disappeared.
Yes, by the government. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And especially sort of the idea of, like, people being put into vans in the middle of a crowded play yard in the middle of a day and just never heard from again. And we literally just watched that happen. So it's like saying it without saying it, which is why I think this movie was so controversial at the time. One of the reasons why this movie, it's an apolitical political movie, you know?
It feels very political, or even if it's not intentionally so, it feels of an era of political violence. There
was also that, and a lot of people were like, it was aliens. Like, when it aired, everyone was convinced it was aliens.
Oh, sure. Yeah, why not?
Why not? Insert conspiracy theory here.
Yeah, or just sometimes, any conspiracy will do. Just some type of thing wherein some rock monster deep within a mountain range just likes collecting humans.
Yeah, and very Night Vale.
Yeah, and I think actually for me, the real confounding scene, and I rewound it to rewatch it just because I just wanted to get a sense of what they were doing, but I thought the biggest, I think, artistic stroke of this movie, the wildest choice, of this short film is when they pull up alongside the circus performers.
Yeah.
Because it's not just that they pull up next to circus performers, it's that they've already gone way out of the city, out into the far reaches of the mountains. It is it's like the dilapidated building. It's just like only a wall is left, but the wall isn't behind the performers, it's in front of them. So all we see is somebody bouncing up and down from just behind a wall. We can only see the top of their head. And then there's one man just sitting on the wall in like colorful outfit. And as they pull up, you just see a lineup. This one man is sitting out on top of the wall, and then there's just a lineup of people in clown makeup.
Just like
just their heads.
And this man is holding a ship in a bottle.
Yeah.
And if you notice, these circus performers, and especially the little person holding the ship in the bottle, are the only people that do not smile at him.
No.
They're the only ones that kind of look at him with like an understanding of the tragedy that he's going through.
Yeah.
Like they're like, look at him with sadness. He also passes a funeral.
Yeah.
That's happening. Church, mourners in black, and there's kind of an old-fashioned glass carriage with a person in a glass box.
Yeah, he is not only in his, glass beer, like he's not only being carried off in his own coffin, but he also is like a ship in a bottle, because we will see soon that he's part of a collection.
Oh, yeah.
I really do want to get back to the circus performers, though. Like, why do they not react the same way to him?
I mean, at this point in the film, I was like, well, isn't it just like life? You get trapped in a box. Other people smilingly try to help you, but they're pretty much ineffectual.
Yeah.
Just like life. But there's something about like circus performers, that's very like they live outside the norm.
They're
like
artists.
They're artists, but also they're travelers. It's the freaks and the oddities and the people that don't fit in to the working machinations of society understand things differently. And also by this point, we've made it well out of the city. Like we're in like the desert outside of Madrid,
And they're that's such a great way of saying it, because that's why the building that they're in has no roof or extra walls. Their box has been broken open. They are free to move. They are outsiders. They're freaks. They're artists. They're weirdos. They're what have you. And that they, in some way, they are free.
Yeah, and they understand. It's like they see the tragedy of like, wow, you got your suit, you kiss your wife goodbye, you kiss your son goodbye, put him on the bus, send him to the nice Catholic school, you go to your little box. Didn't that seem dull?
Did that work out for you?
Does that make you happy?
Yeah. Well, we go into the side of a mountain, down deep into oh, wait, did I miss something?
Well, the helicopter. At one point, a helicopter starts falling in, and he's like, you're like, you and the man inside are like, oh my gosh, okay. Somebody is acknowledging that that this gentleman has been kidnapped. And this helicopter follows them. Some really amazing shots of like, apparently it was a dam going down into like a recently built dam that is like switchback after switchback. And this helicopter is following this truck. And you're like, okay, do something.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Are you an army helicopter? Are you a police helicopter? Are you just search and rescue? What's happening?
And then the helicopter sort of lands and the people get out and the truck drives by. And I can't remember if I projected this or if this actually happens, but they kind of like the truck gives them like a little bump, like a...
And the helicopter guys, the pilot has stepped out and he's just waving at the truck drivers.
But he's not waving at the man. He's waving at the drivers this time.
That helicopter is security for the mountain secret hideaway. This pathway down, we pass a flatbed semi going the other way that's just carrying fresh, brand new.
Like 20 fresh new boxes. This is also where the music changes from that jaunty little 70s jazz music. Now we're in, I think it's Orff. ORFF is the composer who apparently got very angry because apparently they didn't ask his permission to use this.
Oh, okay, great.
But they
Carl
kind of worked
Orff,
it out.
yep.
Carl Orff, they kind of worked it out in the back end after he saw the film. He's like, okay, that's actually a pretty good piece of art.
It's very. I don't know if it's from Carmina Burana, but it sounds very much of that ilk of the.
Yeah, like it's it's not happy music. It's very tense, and it's also the like everything has been so like this has been a day scare, like bright Madrid, Spanish sun, full high noon, and now all of a sudden we're in this long dark tunnel with like the flashing lights going by. And you see, like, it's the close-up look on this man's face of what the actual fuck is going on.
You know what? One of the scariest little scenes he sees here that was only scary to me once I saw the end of it is there's a little alcove that he passes, and there's a group of guys cleaning out, hosing out insides of these phone booths. And you're like, oh, they're cleaning them up to take them out into the world. Oh, no, they're reusing them.
Are they? Are they?
They are cleaning out ones that have already been used.
Mm-hmm. The truck pulls up to an empty concrete room, and there's like a winch with a magnet on top. The magnet comes down, latches onto that phone booth. The men, they drive the truck away. Now he's just like suspended in a little box, like a little lantern, going down an assembly line, drops him off onto like little rollers, much like a factory. He's just being transported from one place to another.
We get the wide shot of this like empty, like loading dock sort of room where the magnet is, or that magnet winch that lifts him up. But we watch it carry him off screen, and then we watch the winch come back to the empty room and the truck drive away. So it just shows us this room just resets, and all we do is bring phone booths here.
Yep.
And put them onto the conveyor belt.
And then
we are
another
just
winch
a factory.
returns. And
yeah. And Cecil, he goes down this conveyor belt, and now he sees what?
He sees other phone booths with the various stages of decomposition. No, that's not it.
Spontaneity.
Yes. He sees corpses inside of phone booths in varying degrees of decomposing. All of them in suits. Some of them fresh. Some of them still alive. Some of them skeletons. Some of them bloated. Just that.
They have all died in the booth.
Yeah. And he kind of pulls up next to one, and it's kind of, this is like the only jump scare in the film. And it's another almost identical looking man, balding suit, the whole thing, who has wrapped the telephone cord around his neck to kill himself.
Yeah.
And is kind of like the tongue sticking out, like kind of turned blue. And then it's the last, well, like not the last shot, but the kind of the penultimate shot is our gray man, our main character, like hands up, and he just like slides down that booth, and his head disappears, and it's just the one hand slowly sliding down the booth off screen.
It's really amazing that you never, from the moment he gets trapped, you never hear his voice again. And so
it's like you don't even hear him breathe.
No, you can't. And so you see him sobbing, but you don't hear the sobbing.
Yeah.
And there's an extra level of alienation that happens there, right? Like it takes you a little bit further away from the emotion of the scene. I mean, this actor is fucking killing it, and I feel him strongly, but the sounds are so important to not just horror, but like drama, right? Like the sound of crying is really important for us to really get into
the sound of breathing.
The sound of breathing, yeah. And that alienation is really interesting because in fact, I thought of Michael Haneke, he's a filmmaker that loves to implicate the audience. He loves almost all of his films. If it's not funny games where he just directly turns to the audience and is hey, you want this, right? But even like a movie like Amour opens with a scene of an audience watching a thing, as in like, I see you, audience, watching my thing. So what are you going to do about it? And when you take it to where you can never hear him breathe or cry or shout or talk, you are one of the people in the park. Antonio Mercero is saying, you're one of them. You're one of the people. Which person are you?
You're just going about your daily life and you wanted a little bit of grotesque something. Well, here you go. Oh, now it's over. Back to your life you go. And then the denouement of the film.
Our
bird
epilogue.
Song. Yep. Bird song.
Bird song. Yeah. Love that.
Just, nice, peaceful park, which another thing, like a lot of people take, if you want to get the religious implications, like kind of being kicked out of the Garden of Eden.
Oh, yeah.
In this bright red apple-colored phone booth. A lorry truck pulls up. They drive in. They install another phone booth. Boop, boop, boop. And then they just gently open that door. Reset the trap.
Yeah. The end. There is a... and you'll see it on the Wikipedia page, but it's the photo. If you look up La Cabina on Wikipedia, there's a photo of a phone booth on a cool like plaque pedestal that they put up in Madrid in 2021 to honor Mercero and the filming of this short film.
Yeah, like this film like shook a lot of people up when it came out, and then it was like shown in America, and then I think it took like 7 or 8 years to get to the UK to be shown on BBC. And kind of in the pre-internet days, people were like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Yeah.
Like it was kind of a conversation piece. So much, in fact, that the telephone company did a spoof of this movie as they got the same actor to be in an advertisement of him in a phone booth. Like this movie has kind of resounded every 10 to 20 years. Some new generation discovers this film. And I am so grateful that we got to cover this, because this might be one of the best movies we've watched for the show.
We see so many great stuff in these shorts, and I'm so glad that we're doing short films for Friday the 13th. Thank you to Dee Dee Dunn for pointing this one out. Yeah. I would have never come to this. This was really, really great. I don't know if this will top possibly in Michigan as my favorite just movie we've ever watched for this podcast.
Yeah.
But a decidedly different type of film. But
it's just got a different vibe.
I fucking loved it.
This is much more like Roald Dahl, Tales of the Unexpected. I think the guy who created Black Mirror cited this movie as an influence and kind of put a little a person in a glass box in a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah, you can absolutely see the influence, and it was fantastic. Well, let's wrap this episode up. Like usually, I will do like a rating of a film for like how approachable it is. These shorts are just kind of all over the map. I think for the most part, these are all pretty approachable. I think if you are horror averse, like Fist of Jesus is pretty fucking gory, but it's not scary. Yeah. The scares in this movie it's tension, and I think Suspense sets that up well. I think the serious movies, Moths and Cargo and even La Cabina are all they're built around suspense. They're built around the tension that we sense from not speaking, not jumping, not yelling, but what we see.
What will happen?
What could happen? So, blood and gore, stalking. There's a suicide, a couple strangle yourself suicide bits in these films, but that's it for that. You have any last things? Do you want to rate anything? Do you want to add to any of these films?
I think this was an excellent collection for Friday the 13th.
Oh my God, so exciting. And we'll do this again because this is Friday the 13th in February. We're just going to get another Friday the 13th in March because of the perfect 28 days of February. So we will see y'all then for that. But thank you for listening. Thank you for Cecil for talking with me. And if y'all have thoughts on any of these shorts, let us know at Random Horror 9 on Blue Sky, Instagram, or on Patreon, where we have public discussion threads that are free to participate in and watch for this coming Tuesday's regular episode, La Llorona from 2019.
Oh, no.
Have a restful night, y'all, with no calcium supplements in your Jamba Juice or nothing. Boo.
Boo.
Random Number Generator Horror Podcast number 9 is hosted by me, Jeffrey Craner, and Cecil Baldwin. Find more of our work on the podcast Welcome to Night Vale. This show is produced by Night Vale Presents. It is edited by me with music by Cecil and logo by David Baldwin. See original artwork for each episode by David on Instagram. Join us for live streams on Patreon. Watch our recording sessions on YouTube. Chat with us on Blue Sky and contribute to our movie selection process on Letterboxd. We're in all of those places at Random Horror 9. Today's scary story. There's a spider on your shirt, and it's holding a gun, and wearing a creepy mask, and it's a ghost.